This is a short video about how we ended up making a new adventures club when really, in fact, that was never an intention. And Robert and I wanted to start a game club. So we talked to the church lady up on the hill at the cowboy church behind us and talked about whether we could use that facility for having a game night. So we started a game night. We picked a night that suited people that we met at bowling. And so we started game night. And different people would bring games and we would have fun. And we played from 6 to 9. And that started back in May of 21, shortly after we moved to Tennessee in February of 21. But one day we were at Tinsley Park playing and asking about pickleball and watching people playing pickleball. And people said, "Oh, do you want to play pickleball? Do you want to learn?" And people were very nice and friendly. And we said, "Well, yeah, we just came to look what it was like and we hadn't played before." And they said, "Well, Paul's here." We didn't know who Paul was, but Paul was with Parks and Rec, and he talked to us and said, "Oh, I have some pickleball paddles here. I'll loan them to you, and then you can start playing and learn how to play." And then I said, "Oh, well, that's amazing." I said, "We just started a game night in Cleveland here and are just curious about learning more about Cleveland and getting involved in things." And he says, "Oh, that's wonderful. Tell me about that club." And I said, "Well, it was in Thomasville, North Carolina, and it was actually a senior club. And they would meet once a week on Wednesdays and do trips every quarter and had meetings and different speakers and a membership and everything." And that club was around for a long time. And Robert retired and was anxious to be part of the club, but that's when COVID came. And then we ended up moving here to Cleveland. He says, "Well, that sounds wonderful. That sounds like something that we want to have here in Cleveland. I would like to get more adult programming in Parks and Rec." And I said, "Well, you could talk to Corey because he's in Thomasville, North Carolina, and the senior club is run through their Parks and Rec in the city of Thomasville." And he says, "Well, yeah, that sounds interesting, but we don't want it to be a senior club. We want it to be for everybody and for all kinds of programming for Parks and Rec. We need something like that here." So lo and behold, that was the beginning of the end, because next thing you know, we're committed to New Adventures Club. We had a couple meetings. We met with some new organizations that are for people moving into the community, met the Parks and Rec people, and Paul was all gung-ho for this. So he supported the beginnings of the New Adventures Club when we came up with that name for it. And it's not just for seniors, but little did we know it would take over our lives. So that's how Game Club morphed into the New Adventures Club. But since then, it's turned out to be very good and everyone loves the club. Done for today, November 2nd, 2024.